taking a look at Asia, we're still talking about, of course, China and those trade talks. And as you can see, pressure throughout the Asian market region overnight. Lauren.
Yeah, the Shanghai Composite down 1.1%. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer says the U.S. China trade deal is getting closer. But speaking before a Senate panel yesterday, he didn't sound too convincing.
In terms of time frame, our hope is that we are in the final weeks of having an agreement, but I'm not predicting one. There still are major issues that have to be resolved, and if those issues are not resolved in a way that's beneficial to the United States, we will not have an agreement.
We're willing to walk. Tori Whiting, a trade economist at the Heritage Foundation, joins us now with a look at the state of play. This keeps changing. Where do we stand, Tori?
Well, here's the thing. What we do know is that it looks like talks are still moving forward in a somewhat positive manner, and that's a good thing. So the two sides are still talking, and they're talking about reaching an agreement. So they're not talking necessarily about all of the issues that are still at hand, but they're saying, we want to reach an agreement. It's just about what's in the details.
We're also trying to reach an agreement with the European Union on a trade deal there. And there's a difference because the U.S. wants agriculture included and the European Union says not. You know, Italians love their Parmesan cheese. I wanted to know your thoughts on where we stand with that deal with the European Union. And if you can just get into the tensions between us and our ally right now, don't we need Europe in our fight against China, confronting China together?
You're absolutely correct, and I think the relationship between the U.S. and the EU right now in terms of trade is very important, and the U.S. and the U.K. These tensions are really that Europe doesn't want to include agriculture. They want to do a non-auto industrial good sort of deal. And also, Europe is dealing with its own issues and really on the offensive in terms of the U.S. wanting to impose tariffs or threatening to impose tariffs on automobiles. That would not get the EU to the table. In fact, it would make them even more unoptimistic about reaching an agreement.
Why are they so anti-including agriculture?
Well, it's just a political issue for a lot of different member states in the EU. We have very different ideas about what it means to open up agriculture. You have sanitary, phytosanitary regulations, geographic indicators for things like cheeses and meats and those sorts of things. So there's just a lot of tension between the two sides on ag.
It might be as easy as I said earlier. Italians love their Parmesan, and they want it coming from Italy. Finally, as we wrap things up, the Wall Street Journal, Tori, reported yesterday that the U.S. Navy is under cyber siege by Chinese hackers, and that could really affect America's military standing in the world. Your thoughts?
Well, I think, first of all, it's very important that our trade negotiations stay separate from any sort of military or geostrategic issues the U.S. and China may have. They're very much related, but in order to reach a trade agreement or a general agreement on trade, we need to focus on just that.
It's kind of hard to do, though. Tori Whiting, thank you very much for trying to make sense of all these topics this morning. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Well,